There's a version of you that never received the memo. The memo that said, you are safe now. You can stop bracing. You can trust yourself again. And because that memo never arrived, a part of you is still waiting, still protecting, still holding its breath. This video is for that part. Before we go into the meditation, and this is something I want you to actually feel, not just hear, I want to briefly explain what is happening in your body and brain when self-trust breaks down. Because once you understand this, even in the simplest way, the meditation becomes 10 times more powerful. Here's what science tells us, and I'll keep this very simple. Your nervous system has one primary job, not happiness, not success, safety. Every single moment of your life, it is scanning. Are we okay? Are we loved? Can we trust the environment around us? When you experienced repeated moments of feeling unseen, unheard, judged, or abandoned, whether in childhood or later in life, your nervous system logged something. It said, trusting others leads to pain. And quietly, without you realizing it, that belief turned inward. Trusting yourself also started to feel dangerous because somewhere along the way, you learned that your feelings were too much, your needs were inconvenient, your instincts were wrong, and that is when self-doubt became a survival strategy. Now here's what makes Ho'oponopono different from any affirmation or mindset technique. It doesn't try to convince your mind of something new. It goes directly to the subconscious, the part of you that stores these old, unresolved feelings like files that were never closed. The 4 phrases, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, are not directed at anyone outside of you. They are directed at the wounded memory itself, at the belief, at the old pain. Neuroscience calls this memory reconsolidation. Every time a powerful memory or belief becomes active, there is a brief window, a few seconds to minutes, where that memory is actually malleable, where it can be updated. Ho'oponopono works in exactly that window. It doesn't suppress, it doesn't fight, it simply meets the wound with something it has never received before. Presence, compassion, love. And your nervous system, your literal biology, responds to that. We talked last week about how childhood patterns can live in the body and quietly shape everything, even your physical weight. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave it linked. Because what we're doing today is the softer companion to that conversation. We're not analyzing, we are healing. So find a comfortable position. You don't have to close your eyes, but if you feel safe doing so, let them close gently. And take one breath. Just to arrive here, let this next part simply wash over you. There's nothing to do except receive. Begin to notice where you're holding tension right now. Not to fix it, just to notice. Maybe it's in your jaw, your chest, your stomach, your hands. Somewhere in your body, something has been clenched for a very long time. That clenching is not weakness. It is loyalty. It is the part of you that kept showing up even when it wasn't sure it was welcome. Speak silently to yourself. Speak softly to yourself now, placing your hand on your heart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for every time I abandoned you, for every time I told you that you were too sensitive, too broken, too slow, too much, or not enough. I didn't know I was doing it. I learned it from somewhere else, but I am here now. Please forgive me. Forgive me for turning against you when life felt too hard. For outsourcing your worth to other people's opinions. For waiting for someone else to see your value before you could feel it yourself. I didn't know another way. I know one now. Thank you. Thank you for surviving everything that felt unsurvivable. Thank you for the mornings you got up even when you didn't know why. Thank you for every small act of courage that nobody else noticed but your body felt. You have been so faithful to this life, even when you doubted yourself. I love you. Not the version of you that has it all figured out. Not the version who is healed and whole and thriving. Right now, this version, the one hearing this, the one trying, the one who sometimes doesn't know if they're doing it right. I love this one. I love you. Stay here for a moment. Let something soften that has been hard for a long time. You don't have to name it. You don't have to understand it. Some things don't need to be understood to be released. There is a woman I once worked with who told me she hadn't cried in 4 years, not because nothing was wrong, but because some part of her believed that falling apart even for a moment meant she was failing. During a session like this one, she started weeping quietly about 12 minutes in. Afterward, she said she didn't know what she had released, but something had. She said it felt like she'd been underwater and had finally come up for air. This is what self-trust feels like when it returns. Not confidence, not certainty, just breath, just permission. Just the quiet knowing that you're allowed to exist as you are right now, in this body, in this moment. You don't rebuild self-trust by proving yourself to yourself over and over again. You rebuild it by stopping the inner war, by becoming the first person who stays when you fall, by being the voice that says, I see you and I'm not leaving. This is that practice. If this meditation felt like something, even a small something, I want you to come back to it, not as a task, as a ritual, as a daily act of coming home. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to be held in a community of people doing exactly this kind of inner work, our WhatsApp healing community is open and it is a genuinely gentle space. The link is in the description. If you want to work with me directly, one-on-one or in any of our workshops or courses, you can reach me on WhatsApp. The link is below as well. Before you go, I want to leave you with something to sit with. What is one version of yourself, one chapter, one mistake, one part that you have never fully let back in? Leave it in the comments if you feel safe doing so. Not because you need to share, but because sometimes naming the thing is the first step to meeting it with love.